Right now, while you're thinking everything's fine, your girlfriend is doing things behind your back that would shock you if you knew. I'm not talking about worst-case scenarios. I'm talking about behaviors that happen in the majority of relationships that men are completely blind to until it's too late. These aren't theories. These are patterns confirmed by thousands of cases, leaked conversations, and women's own private admissions when they think men aren't listening. The gap between what she shows you and what she's actually doing is bigger than you imagine. Today, I'm exposing 5 things she's doing behind your back right now. Number 3 is so common and so shocking that you'll question everything you thought you knew about your relationship. Let's go. 1. She's complaining about you to her friends. First thing happening right now, she's in group chats with her friends, dissecting everything you do wrong. That argument you thought was resolved. She told all of them her version where you're the villain. That thing you said that seemed fine. She's analyzing it with 5 other women who are all agreeing you're problematic. Women process relationships through friend groups. Every interaction you have gets reported, analyzed, and judged by a committee of her friends. And in those conversations, she's not defending you. She's gathering validation for her frustrations. Here's what's happening in those chats. She's sharing screenshots of your texts with commentary about what you really meant. She's telling stories about things you do that annoy her, exaggerated to make you sound worse. She's getting advice from single friends or friends in failing relationships about how to handle you. Your private relationship isn't private. Her friends know intimate details about your sex life, your fights, your flaws, and your vulnerabilities. Things you shared in confidence are entertainment in her group chat. Worst part, these friends are influencing her behavior. Number 1. Keeping her options. Open online perception of you. One friend plants a seed. That behavior is kind of controlling, and suddenly she's viewing everything you do through that lens. The group chat is actively undermining your relationship while you're clueless. It exists. 2. She's keeping her options warm. Second thing she's doing, maintaining connections with men who could replace you. Not actively cheating, but keeping backup options warm just in case. This is strategic relationship management you don't even know is happening. She's got exes she's still friends with. Male coworkers she has inside jokes with guys from her past who message occasionally, and she messages back. Social media connections with men who comment on her posts regularly. These aren't random. These are maintained options. Here's how this works. She's responding to their messages when you're not around, keeping conversations going that seem innocent on the surface but maintain emotional connection. Laughing at their jokes a little too much. Never cutting them off completely even when they're clearly interested. She calls them friends. But watch what happens if you two have a major fight or she gets upset with you. Suddenly she's texting these friends more, getting validation from them, comparing you unfavorably to them in her mind. Their emotional affairs waiting to happen. These men know about you, but they're waiting. And she's keeping them interested enough to still be there if she needs them. Not consciously malicious, just unconscious relationship insurance. She's got a bench of men ready to comfort her or catch her if your relationship fails. 3. She's fantasizing about other men. Third thing, and this is the one you won't believe, she's regularly fantasizing about other men, not just celebrities or fantasy scenarios, real men in her life. And she's doing it way more often than you think. Research shows over 70% of women in committed relationships regularly fantasize about men who aren't their partners. That guy at her gym, her coworker, the bartender who flirted with her, random attractive men she encounters, sometimes even your friends. Here's what's happening. When you're having sex with her, there's a chance she's thinking about someone else. When she's alone and aroused, she's thinking about encounters with men who aren't you. When she sees attractive men in public, she's imagining scenarios just like you do with attractive women. But there's a difference. When you mention finding other women attractive, she gets upset. When she's mentally undressing your friend or fantasizing about that coworker, she never mentions it. She acts like those thoughts don't exist while actively having them regularly. The fantasies aren't just visual either. She's imagining conversations, scenarios, emotional connections with these men. Sometimes the fantasy is about their dominance or confidence she feels you lack. Sometimes it's pure physical attraction to traits they have that you don't. This is shocking because of the double standard. If she knew you were regularly fantasizing about her friends or coworkers, she'd be devastated. But she's doing exactly that, convincing herself it's fine because everyone does. The psychology behind female backup plans, it while never admitting to you, it's happening. 4. She's monitoring your online activity. Fourth thing happening behind your back. She's tracking your digital behavior way more than you realize. Checking who you follow, who follows you, who likes your posts, who you interact with online. She's a detective and you're the suspect. Here's what she's doing. Looking through your following list for attractive women. Checking those women's profiles to see if you've liked their posts. Noting when you're online but haven't responded to her, screenshotting things to analyze later or show her friends. She knows exactly which female friend posted that photo you liked. She noticed you followed that girl from work. She saw you were active on Instagram at 11 p.m. when you said you were going to sleep. She's cataloging all of it, even though she's never mentioned it. She's also checking your ex's profiles regularly, seeing what they're up to, comparing herself to them, getting upset if they post something attractive or seem happy. Your ex posting about a new relationship makes her day. Your ex posting hot photos makes her spiral. This surveillance is constant and invisible. You have no idea she's doing it because she never mentions it unless she finds something that gives her excuse to confront you. Otherwise, it's silent monitoring that she's conducting daily. 5. She's financially planning without you. Fifth thing she's doing behind your back, making financial calculations and decisions about your relationship that don't include you in the conversation. She's already figured out exactly what leaving would cost or what staying is worth financially. She knows what her life would look like financially without you. She's calculated if she can afford to leave. She's considered how the apartment would split, who keeps what she'd lose or gain financially by ending it. If you live together, she's evaluated whether she needs you financially or if she could manage alone. If you're supporting her in any way, she's assessed whether that's worth putting up with whatever bothers her about you. You're being evaluated on a balance sheet you don't know exists. She's also comparing your financial status to other men's. That friend who just bought a house she's noticed. That coworker with a new car, she's compared it to yours. She's mentally ranking you against other men's financial positions and factoring that into relationship calculations. What do you do with this information? First, stop being naive about what happens behind your back. Understand relationships have visible and invisible components. Second, monitor for signs these behaviors are escalating into relationship threats. Third, maintain your own standards and boundaries regardless of what she's doing privately. You can't control her private behavior, but you can stay alert to patterns that indicate disrespect, disloyalty, or planning an exit. And you can make sure you're not so invested that discovering these realities would destroy you. If this opened your eyes to the gap between what you see and what's actually happening, subscribe. I'm revealing the uncomfortable truths about relationship dynamics that nobody else will tell you straight. Hit subscribe so you understand what's really going on behind the scenes instead of staying blind to reality.